Hi, John here. If you're watching this video and I didn't comment on this video, it means that I'm dead. So let's sit down for my final video if I have left this earth. I'm making this video because I'm about to go for surgery for my shoulder. Though there's a very low chance, there's still a non-zero chance that I might not survive this surgery. So, just in case, I got this video prepared. Also, if I'm currently still alive, I would like for this video to still be uploaded to talk more about the topic of life and death. So, I got this surgery coming up for my shoulder. My friends around me think it's stupid that I'm so scared of dying for this simple surgery. But I think this might genuinely be the event in my life that I'm closest to succumbing to death. I could be allergic to the general anesthesia and just die. The wrong artery could be tampered with. It doesn't help that I've heard stories of people dying at hospitals when they were supposed to just go for a normal appointment. And in the past 10 years of my life, I've known 4 people in my church or school that were around my age when they passed away. It's insane to be exposed to death so much since I was in secondary school. But to see schoolmates pass away when you've seen them around in school before, is such a scary thought. And though I might be young, I might have to face the fact that I'll have a really short life on earth. So for the past few days, I've really been wrestling with this thought. If I really die, would my life be a good testament? That's what I've been thinking about lately. I've told my family about my plans in case I die. I want the Bible verse 2 Corinthians 4 verse 17. I want to have the song Good and Gracious King. I would like to request for the sermon to be about the book of Ecclesiastes at my funeral. And now I'm trying to think, has my life on earth been a testimony of Jesus' radical transformation? Have I been a sample of God's love towards those around me and even those who watch my content? I've been thinking about death over many months. It's kind of scary to think that very soon I would no longer be on this earth with this body I have. And I hate the idea that there's no 100% proof on what happens after this life on earth. If there's no God, does it mean I'll just no longer exist anymore? Did the Muslims get it right, meaning that I'll be condemned for not believing in their God? Or did the Christians get it right? But when I see Jesus, he will say to depart from him because he never knew me? I've been struggling a lot with my own salvation. I got so much hate knowledge about how it works over the past few years, from the significance of the cross to predestination to justification by faith. But I'm pretty scared that I'm not part of the remnant. I know I don't have to do works to be saved, but at the same time, I'm not sure if my faith is genuine or enough for God to save me. I really hope my heart posture is right. Admittedly, I'm a very sinful person, so I'm not sure how it will go. Or is it the fact that I'm doubting Jesus' work on the cross for my salvation mean that I don't fully trust in him? If so, what can I do to stop doubting that his love has paid for my sins? It's a weird balancing act that has many nuances. I think the devil might be playing tricks with my psyche. The father of lies is sending me into a spiral of overthinking that leads me to not trust in what Jesus has done and makes me wonder if I've done enough in this life. But at the same time, I don't wish to overemphasize God's grace such that I can justify sinning. That's also the devil tempting me to rebel against God. So I'm pretty confused at the moment. Perhaps you can see my dilemma now. Other than being justified towards God, what about being justified towards people? Do the people in my personal circle see my life as a testament of God's love? Or would they think I'm a huge Romans 14 stumbling block that might draw them away from Jesus? I've been reflecting on how I've hurt so many people in my life. I hope they know that I'm a changed person compared to how I was even 2 years ago. But it's hard to sometimes live with the fact that I've hurt some people and there's not really a way for me to apologize to them. Amidst the fallouts I've had with friends, may they be able to forgive what I've done in the past. And may I now try to make it right with my current relationships, though I admit I won't be perfect. I guess that's how life is. Maybe I feel like it's tough since I'm in my 20s, but I also know that some people will have their bad character unchanged even as they age. Look at the many people who still hold on to selfish, self-serving ideas even as fully grown adults. The age group with the most people who indulge in consuming pornography is the 40s. Look at the many elderly people who still harbor bitterness in their hearts over conflicts in their families, or find it hard to change from their old habits that they've indulged in for literally decades. Some have even grown bitter to life as they witness how fallen this world is for so long. But I guess that's all the more why we can be humbled when facing Jesus. If we realize that we'll never be perfect, we shouldn't try to act more superior. I know this is quite the Eastern ideology, but sometimes you're not more right just because you're older. Ignore the whole idea that younger people should listen to the older people. Older people might genuinely get it wrong. I personally get taken aback when my youth sometimes correct me. At certain moments, they are wiser and more mature than me. So I really hope that you can be challenged to continue carrying your cross daily, even if you're 14 or 40 years old. In a weird way, I actually have come to be at rest with the fact that I might die. It means that I can finally be gone from a fallen world with so much suffering and instead be with Jesus at the right hand of God in heaven. There's something peaceful about knowing that I could very well end up like that. Because on one hand, yay, I don't have to be on the grind set like studying or working. I no longer have to suffer this joke of an injury because I'll have a perfect body. I don't have to worry about the earthly things like commuting to places or getting financial stability. However, I would like to remind you of this verse the Apostle Paul wrote in Philippians chapter 1 verse 21. To live is Christ, to die is gain. So, if I hit my demise, then I've gained all the reward in heaven. But if I wake up after my surgery and I'm still on this earth, I have breath in my lungs, then it means that God still has a plan for me. He still wants me to carry on worshipping Him and witnessing to others what Jesus has done. Though it might be good news when Jesus comes back to earth, it's good news if Jesus delays it for non-believers. It means that there's still time for them to come to put their faith in Him. And Jesus says that the harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. Many are willing to receive the good news of Jesus, but very few are willing to go tell them about it. And that really urges us believers. As long as we are alive, we have the opportunity to plant seeds in those around us. Even if we are bedridden, we can easily share the message using our devices. I guess that's why I revived this channel. I wish to help people come to understand what it's like to have a relationship with Jesus. Yes, it's going to be like living life on the hardest difficulty, but let's not underestimate what the Holy Spirit can do in our lives. We are empowered with the same Holy Spirit that raised Jesus from the dead. Hence, we are all the more equipped to be sanctified and to serve others. Let's not forget the working power of the Holy Spirit, because I do find that He gets neglected sometimes. I guess while I'm grappling hard with how my life has been, this video is like my final words to those still living on this earth. Amidst all the suffering, remember that Jesus has died and was raised on the third day. And perhaps we don't really see the impact of this event after hearing it so many times. But here's the comforting thing for those who find themselves suffering in this fallen world. Even if you fail that test tomorrow, even if you do not hit the goals you've set, even if you struggle financially, scraping through every day, even if an injury takes you out for your whole life, even if you struggle with beating certain addictions you have, even if you struggle with your relationship with your father, mother, sister, brother, even if you get bullied in school, even if you stay single when you wish to get married, even if you struggle with your mental health for the next few decades of your life, even if you feel that you are lost in making decisions for your life, even if you feel like you lose a lot in life, you have already won, because Jesus has won. So, as we go about suffering the consequences of sin, let us be encouraged by what God has done for us. And as I read the book of Ecclesiastes, I've realized how to go about life. It's meaningless to work towards accomplishments or try to squeeze out as much fun and pleasure in life. All this is chasing after the wind. That's how it is when you decide not to put your trust in God. However, if you realize that you can't find meaning in this life on your own, then you might as well go to the one who gives meaning to your life. C.S. Lewis has said that if we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world. So, may we not lose hope. Continue pursuing God, putting Him at the center of our life. I would like to believe that I've done all that I can for the past 22 years of my life. Most importantly, I hope to see you on the other side in the kingdom of heaven alongside Jesus on the right hand of God. Until the day you are called home, I hope you continue being on the go for Jesus.